Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. If you can't tell by my voice, I got sick, which is why this video labeled the April comic update is coming out in May. I tried to get this out as quickly as I could, but the past few days my voice was just not cooperating with me, and I really just didn't have a voice. And it turns out without a voice, you can't record YouTube videos. So we're going to jump into this comic update a day or two late. But that's okay. As usual, you can go read this update on my website. There's a link below. And something new I'm doing is I made a blue sky. So if you want to be notified basically as soon as these updates go live, it's not really tweeting, blue skying. I don't know what the proper term is. I'm going to be posting over there whenever I post updates from now on. I've never been a really big Twitter user, and I really just don't like social media in general, other than YouTube myself. So, but I'm liking Blue Sky so far. So, yeah, just going forward, I'll be posting over there whenever a comic update goes live. But let's go ahead and get into the video. So the first thing I want to talk about here is that we are firmly in the rising action of the story. The story is kind of hitting a bit of a mini climax where Crystal's dad has kind of finally tracked them down within the old colonies, and he attacks them in this update. And it kind of is really the fight, I guess, and where it's headed towards the end of this chapter is representative of kind of where Crystal's at and where Zemo is at. We'll get kind of a bit more on Zemo's backstory towards the end of this chapter. There should be maybe 1 or 2 updates left in this chapter, and then we're on to chapter 3 and to the end of the comic, kind of. I guess another 24 pages or so till the end of the comic after this chapter. But yeah, so we're kind of getting into, I would say, more on the real why of why Zemo is doing this, and we're getting into, I would say, the will and the strength of who Crystal is, and kind of a test of her strength and her will in these couple pages, and the following few updates. I would say the following maybe 3 to 6 pages leading into the end of this chapter. And I won't say too much more on that, but it's I'm excited to kind of stretch these characters, and we'll see how they react in the next couple updates. But yeah, that's kind of all I really have to say about these pages. They're not super crazy pages. They're more like transition pages, I guess, into the next story beat and story scene. Still necessary pages to do, but in terms of talking about them, it's not like, there's nothing super deep and meaningful here. They're just cool action pages, or at least I think they're cool. And, that's kind of all there is to it. If you want me to make a video on action posing and that kind of thing too, let me know in the comments. I might do it anyway, because that sounds like a good video. I'm definitely not an expert, but, I can do my best to kind of share what I know for the level of art that I'm at. But what I really want to talk about in this latter half of this video, and as usual, I kind of like to provide I guess some value to you, or I hope it's some value to you in the latter half of these updates, so it's not just me blabbing about the comic. I really want to talk about, when life gets in the way of your projects, because obviously I posted this update late, and, it's always annoying when life gets in the way. And just a little bit of backstory, I guess, on what happened is, obviously I got sick, as you can tell by my voice, but also I was in a really busy season of work, just not a lot of time. Some family things popped up, some, just life things. So just some unfortunate crap, popped up in life. Nothing super, super serious, but just, life stress, general life stress. And, the comic had to take a bit of a back seat, and I obviously got stuff done and worked on it when I could. But, I definitely drew less this month than I typically do. It was a bit of a less productive month than I like to have, evident by how many videos I've posted lately. But, I kind of just want to say, that kind of stuff happens. And, if it's happening to you, and I'm really bad about this, but, don't get mad, don't get upset or frustrated. This makes it sound like I'm like yelling and ranting and raving, but, it's frustrating, right? It's, it's unfortunate when life gets in the way of the things we love to do, and our projects and our hobbies, even maybe our livelihoods. But I think it's best to, do our best to ride the wave of life as much as possible. And, so if you're in a period of that right now, I would say leaning into that period and kind of trying to find the value and the lessons out of it as much as you can. And, Usually when one thing falls away in terms of, like I couldn't draw, so maybe I can go run more, work out more, or, whatever else you like to do, maybe. Just try and lean into those things more, because it all circles back to your artwork, right? Art is just as much how you live your life as it is, actually making the cool pictures. So, when these seasons pop up that are less than ideal in terms of maybe your schedule or whatever, just lean into it and, take what you can out of it and then pump it back into your art when you get back to doing your art. But yeah, that's the video. It's a short and sweet one. I just kind of want to put this comic update out there for you. Hope you enjoyed the pages and hope you enjoyed the update. We're cranking through them, and I think we're on pace to finish by the end of the year. I hope. I was originally wanting to finish by this summer, but I don't think that's going to happen based on where I'm at right now. But definitely by the end of the year, I'll be able to finish. I'm confident in that, and then we can move on to what I have next in mind. If that idea lasts till then. But thanks for hanging. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all of you and for sticking around. And like, comment, subscribe, all that dumb YouTube stuff. And I'll see you when I see you.